Hi and welcome back to the Heads Up Show. It's Friday, May the 25th, and unfortunately the money shot is away this weekend, so he couldn't make it, but he's sent me some information that we can use on today's program. So what I thought I'd do is go through a few selections tomorrow using the Form Pro rating site. I know quite a few of you have used it and maybe not be too sure how to use it, so I'll show you how it's done this weekend, and I'll give you a free bonus login at the end of the show, so you can use it yourself over the weekend, especially on those swampy tracks. So let's have a look at Pukekohe first of all tomorrow. We'll do race 2. We've got just a small field, Brilliant Shine. Tommy Leader's the favourite at 250, not far behind is Admiral. So if you go to the ratings and we put on the full, I'll just go to the normal ratings view of this race, and we've got the horses down there, the barrier draw. The exclamation mark means a gear change, and the weight the horse is carrying after weight allowances, day since last start. R1 means the most recent start, and the rating figure for it. Basically, the higher the rating, the better the performance. So Tommy Leela rated 112 at Rotorua last start when she beat Deals and Heels, unfortunately, but it was the most recent rating, and you can click on the R on the up and down arrow and it puts them in order for the most recent start. So you can see Tommy Leela and Admiral, by far the best two rated horses in their last two starts. Now with the Heavy 11 track tomorrow, let's find out which horses have rated best, and we can filter out what we don't want and what we do want. So we'll look at all races. We could do Pukekohe Park. Let's do all courses first of all. Heavy track, race distance plus or minus 200 metres, or you can do plus or minus 400 metres, or all distances. We'll do the last year, so it takes into account all the wet tracks over the last year, and ask for the top 20. Let's submit that, and it will come up with Brilliant Shine having the top rating, 112.9 on a Heavy 11 at Ellerslie, Mark du Plessis Road, back on September the 9th. You can click on that and dig deeper to see who else was in the race. Tommy Leela rated 111.9 when it won at Arawa Park last start, and Brilliant Shine the next three best ratings on a Heavy 11 track. So obviously that goes well on a Heavy 11 track, but as you can see it carries 60 kgs. Admiral is the third best rating. At Pukekohe Park won here on August the 12th. Let's just have a look. That was the race where it led all the way, beating Bowie, Dainty Rose. There's a sneaky chance later on today too, on that day, at a good price. Arzak and Pakia, so that's what it beat on that day. So back to the ratings. If you take into account the weight the horse is carrying, you can see Admiral there gets 4 kgs off and should be able to carry that weight. Just have a look and make sure that Rebecca can get down to, I presume she can, yeah, 51 kg, so she gets 4 kgs off to 53.5, so is getting 4 kgs over Tommy Leela, and Brilliant Shine carrying 60 kgs. So you think Tommy Leela and Admiral should fight this out with the form they're in. The speed map shows, I'd say Admiral should be able to slide to the lead. Lord Silver maybe tucking in behind him. Brilliant Shine handy, Tommy Leela dropping back in the small field. So, and Admiral should get his own way in front unless something goes around and takes him on, which I can't really see. So Admiral getting a good time in front should, with a weight advantage, be hard to run down from Tommy Leela. So the speed map says Admiral over Tommy Leela, but the ratings say Tommy Leela over Admiral. So maybe it's a case of just watching the market, seeing how the market, and if it indicates anything, any horses being backed in more than the other. But I'd fancy Admiral over Tommy Leela at this stage, and see how we go from there. Race 6, it's the 2-year-old race. What an interesting race on a Heavy 11 track. So which horses have been performing the best in the most recent start, Olay Olay, when it was, we'll have a look at that form in a second. If we go to the extended form, Olay Olay rated 103 at Te Rapa. That was behind Santa Catarina, I think, from memory. Yep, Santa Catarina. And Kiji Express was 4th, and he won like a really good horse at Hastings the other day. So you'd think Olay Olay, that form is looking pretty strong now, so he has to be in there. But the horse I like is Peaceful. I thought its run last start, being 4 wide on the pace, led and got out finished, which it was entitled to do after doing all that work. And I think the run 2 starts back, where it was 8th out, or wide a turn strong late finish to Santa Catarina, was a really good run. And you can see from the sectionals, Peaceful ran home in 36.73, was the fastest closing 600 metres in the race, and Santa Catarina has franked that form. So Olay Olay and Peaceful do seem the 2 in this race. What does the market show us? Race 6. We've got Peaceful at $3.40, carrying 2 kgs less at the set weights than Olay Olay, $3.50. So they do seem the 2. Van Irving ran home well to win, but her action says a heavy 11 track could be a bit too much. And the same with Grand Ariana, good winner last start, but a heavy 11 track could find her out. Not a race you'd go crazy on, but Peaceful and Olay Olay do seem the 2 for the, if you're keen on the quaddie, to take there. Yeah, let's go to Trentham. Another heavy 11 track, a slog in the bog. It's going to be really tough going down there. So let's look at race 2. We've got Art Deco, $1.60 favourite, and Platinum Command and Strolling Vagabond, who goes well on the course, being hard to beat. Let's look at the ratings. If we go to Wellington, we'll go to race 2, and let's have a look. Art Deco rated 109 last start when she won really well at New Plymouth with the weight allowance, and looked really fit too. So she'd only have to improve. She just tries every race. Let's have a look at her, dig deeper. Okay, her result 1677. Now, always winning or placing in most starts. Look at that form there. Crikey, Dick only missed 3 times out of a place. And let's go back, do the filtery thing, and we'll do all races, all courses, heavy, race distance 200 metres either side. And you can see Nashville has the best ratings, and he'll get back in the small field, and you think Art Deco would be up in the pace, probably second outside Strolling Vagabond. In fact, let's have a look at the speed map. What does that tell us? It says National will drop back, Art Deco and Strolling Vagabond should go forward, and those 2 will drop back and behind. So it should be a pretty predictable speed map. And Art Deco, you'd think, crikey, with the improvement plus the 4 kgs off, can Nashville, even getting 3 kgs, give 7 kgs to Ruamu Pin? Can he claim that full? Let's just have a look. Yeah, 48 kgs, you can get the full 4 kgs, so 50 kgs versus 57. You'd think Art Deco on the pace, Nashville just wouldn't be able to out-finish her. Strolling Vagabond rates 8 points lower than Art Deco in the rating, so it does look Art Deco's race. Gee, $1.60. She does look like an anchor for your multis, all things being equal. But stranger things have happened at Trentham, haven't they? It's not known for the punter's graveyard for nothing, is it? Right, and let's look at race 6, the sprint. I like this race. And let's look at the speed map first of all. Race 6. We've got, waiting for it to come up here. Alright, the thing is with this race, by this time of day, in this race last year, they all tried to get to the outside when Dolcetto won it from Manhattan Street with a good run, drawing the inside. So we've got Perfect Harmony, Hyundai a Month, Ramsam Sam, Magic Hour all going forward. Paddy Burke, Casa Quinn Man should get the nice run, because I'm picking they'll be getting to the outside. You'd have to, 80% chance they'll be going to the outside to win this race. So it does make it harder for those horses drawing the inside. Manhattan Street especially. So yeah, he did a great performance, Chris Johnson, on him last year to go from barrier 3 on the inside and angle across, coming across the crossing to get out wide and almost beat Dolcetto. So if you can get out these in the right form to be able to win this race. But Paddy Burke and Casa Kunwan look like the horses who are going to get the right runs, don't they? Let's look at the filter and dig a bit deeper with the, comes up with the same default settings again, heavy tracks plus or minus 200 metres in the last year only. So Manhattan Street has the best 2 ratings on a heavy 11 track, followed by Our Bandit and Perfect Harmony, it's interesting, Wanganui, and Paddy Burke, that's the one I like to upset, and that was at Awapuni, running home, it was the last start actually, running home nicely. So the other filter says Manhattan Street. If you'd drawn out, you'd be on them probably, but that inside draw makes it much harder. Redefine has got to be in the chance as well on Ramsam Sam, but Paddy Burke is the one I'm going for. Let's go back to the ratings, and I did like his run last start because he got back, came wider, and ran home nicely. Let's just have a look at that race there. Now he's just go back again. With what weight are they carrying this time? Manhattan Street's carrying 56 and Paddy Burke with the allowance 54. So there's Paddy Burke gets 2 kgs this time. But if we click on him in his last start, what was the weight difference? Okay, Paddy Burke was giving Manhattan Street 2.5 kg, so there's a 4.5 kg swing around for Paddy Burke, plus he'll get in the right spot and he probably won't. So you would have to think on the prices that Manhattan Street at $4.50 versus Paddy Burke at $11, that's just too big a difference, especially for the place for $3.20 when he's going to get in the right run and get in the right spot. Heavy 11 track is always a query, but it's a query for all of them. But I think he'll get out in the right spot and be a realistic chance of beating these. So if we just go, oops, no, don't want to see that. We want to go back to here and just have a look at that replay from last week with the overview. Paddy came home with 37.71, which was the fastest for the race, and Manhattan Street 37.77. So with a good tempo tomorrow, everything points to Paddy Burke. He does go well on the course. So last week's run, there is, we'll just pause that. Paddy Burke out there, Manhattan Street just coming outside there. So he's got 2 or 3 or 4, probably 3 or 4 links on Paddy there. And he does close within to 2 lengths. So with a 4.5, probably more than 4 links. So it does close within 2 links of Manhattan Street down the straight. And with a stronger tempo, you would think Paddy. So he closed up nicely here. Comments from Tony Lee were ripped into 3rd from Paddy Burke, and that was a run. So I'd have to agree. So Paddy Burke does look a nice each way chance. Let's have a look at another race tomorrow. What should we look at? We'll just look at today's ratings at Otago. I did the filter on races 5 and 6. He'll Be Jake won that race. He'd rated the best 94 last start on a heavy 11 track, and he won and paid $7.40. And in race 6, the Dowry Duty won that, and that was the second rated on a heavy track, 98.8, and won and paid $9.80 in the quaddie. So you really need the filter to on heavy tracks, especially heavy tracks, to just give you a lead into which horses not to leave out. So Dairy Duty, that was a career best rating last start too, I think. Let's have a look. Yeah, 98.8, and it was a career best rating, so it's coming solid at the right time on the heavy track, so maybe one to follow. Good tough horse. And tomorrow, let's have a look at another race. It's in race 5. Oh no, we'll go to counties. There's a race there, quite an interesting one. Race 5, I think it is. Throws up a couple of roughies. Yeah, this race here. Let's go to the filter. And we can see if we put it on the same settings, heavy, 200 metres, last year only, Dainty Rose and Inaminka and Dainty Rose, the top 6 rated horses on a heavy track are Inaminka and Dainty Rose and Sun Jeans for third. Opie Bosson's going to be, oh no, Opie Bosson's not riding it. Let's just bring up the odds for that race. Race 5, Pukekohe. We have Inaminka paying $12 and Dainty Rose paying $37 and Sun Jeans paying $7.20. Slow Hands is a $3 favourite and yet to be counted on a heavy 11 track. Drawn out, Opie's on, so it's got to be a plus, but $3 is just too short. So it's the second leg of the quaddies, so you couldn't leave out Dainty Rose, dropping in class, and Inaminka also with 4 kgs off. Watch out for those two. Maybe for an upset in that race there. Now if you want to use the ratings tomorrow at either track, even on Sunday, you can log in with Form Pro for the username and Gallops, Gallops, all lowercase, Gallops. This is only available if you're listening to the heads up right through until Sunday night, and you get the freebie on the Monday with Form Pro and Speed for the greyhounds. So if you've got some time and just want to sit back and enjoy the racing, have a bit more info to try and figure out the winners on those boggy tracks, have a bit of fun with that. Give us any feedback on maybe things you want to know more about, or how you used it to find a winner or two, or to avoid backing a favourite. It just gives you more information to do the form on. Now, the money shot has his punt of the day is race 3, New York Minute, changed to the Baker Forsman in the stable. Had a really nice trial, and she's good tough mare, perfect action for a boggy track. It has to be hard to beat. I like Sleeping Beauty to maybe beat her, because she's had 2 runs on dry tracks which didn't suit. Gets 1 kg off, and New York Minute is fresh up. Gets in nicely at the weights too, New York Minute. But Sleeping Beauty for me at 350, I think that might come in. And for my money shot hasn't passed on a sports bet, but I'm quite keen on one in the Warriors game. Last week we got it up with the total combined points of being 39.5 or less, and they got the total points was 38.5, so snuck in easily there. If we go to, where are we? NRL. Tomorrow, sorry. We've got the Warriors South Sydney game. Now if we go back to here, you can see that in round one, that the Warriors beat the Rabbitohs 32 points to 20. And since then the Rabbitohs have won a few games, pouring on 34 points, 36 points, etc, etc. And if we go to the ladder, Rabbitohs are one of the highest teams for points for, and the Warriors at home can rack up a few points too. So they're averaging on that on 11 games, the Rabbitohs at 24 points a game, and the Warriors at 20 points a game, 4. So that alone says 44 points. And what is the TAB giving us for total combined points? Here we are. total combined points. Over 37.5, $1.87. So that has to be the way to go, you'd think. But I'd just put a caveat on that, because if the rain comes down, it'd probably go that way. So it's sort of a wait and see drive, but if the track's hard and fast and reasonable going, no worse than a dead 5. 37.5 seems the way to go there. Now, last week's winner, my wife drew out, there were 7 correct entries from last week, and the answer was Dummy Myers was the controversial thing when Dummy was on trackside 16 years ago, I think it was, and allegedly gave the, or didn't allegedly, gave the trackside interview, I think it was Steve Davis, the swerve on a horse, when he said that it wouldn't handle heavy going, and it did and won. And he mentioned that we just wanted to get a good price. Anyway, if you're on the inside information, you'd be happy. If you weren't happy. But ever since then, Dummy hasn't come on trackside, or so that's racing. Anyway, so that was the correct answer. And Bill C, well done, Bill. He's a current subscriber. I'll add another month's subscription to your Form Pro sub. Now, this week's question, it's a racing one, and it's going to be a straightforward one. Which horse in race 6 tomorrow at Trentham will come last? There you go. On prices, it's Hundy a month, and on the ratings, let's have a look. Let's do the filter on a heavy track. Well, on a heavy track, let's do the lot. Let's do 100 or the top 50. Dougie, Magicella, crikey. I don't think let's do it on the ratings then. It's just, now over here we have the adjusted column, and this takes into account the weight it's carrying. So Dougie, after it goes on its last 4 ratings, takes into account that plus the weight it's carrying, then adjust that rating to give you a net rating or adjusted rating. So Dougie rates on top from our Bandit, Manhattan Street, right down to Hundy a month. So it looks like Hundy a month and Magicella. I can't see Casa Quinman being last, but maybe Magicella or Hundy a month look the candidates for fighting out the Beetle Bomb position. So just text that your answer to me before, what time was that race? 3:21. So let's say before 3 p.m. tomorrow, text me your horse, just one horse out of that race to finish last. If it finishes last, and there's more than one correct horse, candidate who picked the last horse, you're going for the draw for a 1 month free sub. And if you do pick the last horse, I'll give you a week's free sub. How's that? But if there's more than one, I'll give you, you're going to the draw for the month's free sub. So good luck with that. Email me formpro@formpro.co.nz or 027 352 6402. Text me before 3 p.m. tomorrow for that last horse, and then cross your fingers and to see what happens. On that boggy track, you just don't know what's going to happen. Anyway, nothing else to mention. The Warriors like to see win again tomorrow. Money Shot will be back next week, and so good luck, good punting, and make plenty.